Good evening, everyone. Rick Fontaine with you for another week of Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. It is great to have your company. We've got a very big show coming up tonight. Our club in focus this week, with thanks to Harrison Agents, looking forward to focusing on the Campbelltown Football Club down in the Northern Midlands. That'll be coming up very shortly with a special guest. With thanks to Cleanaway, our women's segment, we've got a lot of news, events, votes, matches to get through. We'll bring you up to speed with what is happening around Tasmania as well. Plenty of news from your corner of the state as well, so stay with us. It's a big one coming up tonight. But first, as we do every week, with thanks to the Little Rivers Brewing Company and the Crafty Cuts, it is time for our Photo of the Week segment. So a big thank you to the Crafty Cuts range. Of course, the Little Rivers Brewing Company up in Scottsdale. We've got a few photos before we get to our winning pick for the week. Have a look at this one. Absolute ripper here, sent in by David Clark from DCP Photos. Have a look at him. The umpire's coming out. Great to see a guard of honour as well from our women footballers there as they make their way on to the park. Also, this one sent in by Anna Cornish. This is the first Auskick session at the Southeast Auskick Centre down at Shark Park, and that's the coach, Chris Thompson, there giving some high fives to the youngsters as they get set for a big season as well. But this week, our winning photo, it goes down to Queenstown. This one was sent in by Sandy Smith Callow. This is the Queenstown Crows in their huddle in their clash against Somerset. This was last Saturday. Thought it's great to be able to focus on another area of Tasmania, and great to have the Queenstown Crows Footy Club on board with our program as well. As I said, this that is not the gravel oval down at Queenstown. That was, as I mentioned, taken at Somerset. Now, the Queenstown Crows, will show you how they went last weekend as well. We've got a little slide here to show you the results. As you can see, their senior team were victorious last weekend, getting over Somerset by 57 points, and also their reserves just going down by 15 points to Somerset in those games. So a big thank you and congratulations to Sandy Smith-Callow. You'll be getting a great little package from the Crafty Cuts range from the team at Little Rivers Brewing Company. So as always, when you're out at the footy this weekend, send us in your best picks and we might have yours up on the screen. All right, time for a quick break. But when we come back, it is time for our Club of the Week.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Great to have your company on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's local footy show. And with thanks to Harrison Agents, it is time for another Club in Focus this week. Well, I think the majority of us could probably attest to the fact that when we're heading to or from Hobart, we probably stop in at Campbelltown. It might be a coffee, it could be a bite to eat, could be getting some petrol, stretch the legs. But how many of us have actually stopped there on a weekend and gone and watched the Campbelltown Football Club play footy? Well, they have been playing for 140 years almost. It is a very famous club. They've won 19 premierships along the journey as well. And there's a photo, I think my wife who took this photo as we were coming back from Hobart the other day, actually. So well done, Kate, for getting that one up for us. Freddie Byrne, he is their current coach. He has been a past 3 seasons as well and has been good enough to join us on the show. He's played 250 plus games. He's a life member of the Campbelltown Football Club, and as I said, joins us here on the Footy Show. Freddie, good to see you, mate. Thanks for jumping on board.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. Thanks for having me, really.
Yeah, well, it's great for us to have you because we're here to really talk about the Campbelltown Football Club and really promote our community footy clubs around the state. And for someone such as yourself who this has been a big part of your life, how important is the club to you personally?
Oh, it's been a massive part of my life. I've had the privilege of playing under 16s right through to senior level football. I've seen success. I've seen, bad times, but more success than none, really. So, but no, it plays a massive part in our community as well. So
You've the club's won 19 premierships along the way. A very successful club. The last one was actually when you were in the NTFA, of course, in the Oaklands District Football Association. At the moment, I think you went back to back and won the premiership in 2001. And we've got a pic from that team there on the screen right now. But it is a side, as you said, that has had downs, but certainly a lot of ups, as evidenced by all those premierships. So plenty of glory days, and great to see the club still going strong.
Yeah, it is, Rick. It's for a country club, small little town like Campbelltown. It's getting harder and harder, and to have success at the club, it's really good.
There's a lot of history at the club too, Freddie, and we're going to have a look here at some of the awards and some of the great names that have been part of the Campbelltown Football Club. We can see the best and fairest winners, some fabulous names here. Brian Leadham, Clinton Lasky, 5-time best and fairest, including 4 in a row. Stephen Lovegrove, of course, had a tremendous career with the Scottsdale Football Club before coming down to Campbelltown, and then in more recent times actually umpiring. There is some real history within the competition, but also some great players have actually gone on to play VFL/AFL football that have come from Campbelltown. Simon Taylor, of course, played 85 games for Hawthorn. And we can't forget the great Brent Croswell, of course, as well, who 4-time VFL Premiership player. He's in the Tasmania Football Hall of Fame and played over 200 games for Carlton, North Melbourne and Melbourne. So you've produced some pretty good footballers there over the years, Freddie.
Yeah, we have. John Fitzallen as well. He's
Yes.
another one that comes to mind. Played in Tasmania. I think he might have played in a team that beat Victoria back in the early days when they were playing rep footy. State of Origin might have been. It's been great to have that sort of icon of them, calibre of players, still get mentioned around our club today.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, as alluded to earlier, you're part of the Oaklands District Football Association competition. You've played in the last couple of grand finals as well, since 2009, been there. So it's a credit to the league, though, isn't it? Because it's a fantastic competition. It supports the townships. I mean, Tribunna, Bothwell, Woodsdale, Oatlands, Mount Pleasant, Campania. It's small towns, but talking from a Campbelltown perspective, how important is the football club to the town?
Oh, it's massive. It's great. We just recently had a home game against Woodsdale, and it's just good to see the old faces. When I was a kid growing up, still being able to come to their local community and support their local football team. I know in 2008, the club went into recess, and it was just, a lot of local boys had to go away to play football, and coming back home of a Saturday where we should be playing at home, it was pretty dull. So, but to get the club back up and going and have that opportunity, the ODFA presented to Campbelltown, it was just the right fit.
For sure. We talk about communities. Good mate of mine, Paul Barker, there up on the screen. He's a mad Essendon man, so obviously Campbelltown man, and the Robins, good colours for him as well. But just want to go back to 2008 when the club went into recess. We know a lot of clubs who don't come back. How did the club come back?
A lot of hard work, a lot of new faces around the club, people that probably they'd never been involved in football in their life,
right,
to be honest. And a few of us got together and formed a bit of a meeting and seen where the club go, because it needed to happen. Like the town needed the football club. That's all they pretty much had. And it was a lot of hard work behind the scenes and getting the right people involved, such as coach and stuff like that, to attract players to the town was the main thing.
Just finally, Freddie, let's have a look at this weekend, the Oatlands District Football Association game. You guys are currently 5th on the table with a win and a loss. You're taking on the Bothwell Rabbits. Love that, the Bothwell Rabbits on Saturday afternoon. What are you expecting up there?
A very tough game of football. Bothwell are a great side at home, like any side in the ODFA. Like you travel on the road, if you can get wins on the road, it goes a long way to putting your case forward for that top four. They're a great side, but I thought they've been for many years. They went three-peat and always been thereabouts for the last few years. So obviously they beat us in 2022,
Yes.
and it'll be nothing better to go up there and beat them on their home dunghill, but it's going to be a fair task.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, we wish you well, and look, full credit to the ODFA as well, because as we said, it's important to the townships, and it's a competition that doesn't have a reserves team, and I think that takes so much pressure off these clubs to allow them to obviously be able to be a part of the competition. You guys are doing pretty well with numbers. I mean, where do you see the future of the Campbelltown Footy Club?
Oh, future, it's getting harder and harder every year to recruit players to the club. Obviously, because we go down south, but in the bigger picture, if looking what's best for our club, if we had an option to go back into the NTFA, obviously, there'd be a lot of ears prick, and there'd be something we'd seriously look at for the survival of the club. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, Freddie, wish you well up at Bothwell this week. Travel safe up there, and look out for the Rabbits. And we hope it goes well. Should be a cracker of a game. But appreciate you coming on and being part of our Club in Focus this week.
Thanks, Rick. Much appreciated.
That is
Thank you.
Freddie Byrne, who's the senior coach of the Campbelltown Football Club, our Club in Focus, with thanks to Harrison Agents. We'll do it all again next week. Time for a break. When we come back with thanks to Cleanaway, it's women's footy.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Well, thanks to Cleanaway, it's time to take a look at women's football, and we've got a really good news story to start off this segment this week. A big congratulations must go to one of our young rising stars in Matilda Lang. Now, she had an incredible performance at the Marsh AFL National Development Under-16 Championships that took place recently with the Tasmanian Devils Talent Pathway team. And congratulations to Matilda. As you can see there on the screen, she was named as Tasmania's MVP, but also gaining selection in the All-Australian team. So a big well done to Matilda there. So a great news story to kick things off. Here's a date for the diaries, the 11th of May. Now, there is a lot happening on the 11th of May, as you'll see over the course of tonight's show. But here's one at Skybus Oval, the Lauderdale Football Club. It is the Pink Sports Day coming up, a Mother's Day function. Of course, that is the next day. There will be a raffle. They're supporting the Breast Cancer Network of Australia. A lot of footy that day. The under-18s kicking off at 9 a.m. and it'll culminate in the senior women match at 4:30 p.m. Check out the Lauderdale Football Club page for more information as well. Now, we're putting a big call out to umpires, and this week in particular, women and girls umpires. We need them in all areas around the state, and there are some great programs being offered at the moment. And we've got some details here up on the screen. The women's and girls umpiring program. We've got a couple of dates and times here for you. So Tuesday the 7th of May at Prospect Park in Launceston, we've got from 6 till 7:30 a program happening there. And then on Thursday next week, the 9th of May at the Penguin Athletics Track also as well. So this is specifically for women and girls interested in trying out umpiring, giving them the opportunity to learn the basics and meet other like-minded participants. And also at the same time, keeping fit and getting some pocket money. So please get along if you can, and you can check out all the details on the Facebook pages of AFL Tasmania also. Now, Women's Leadership Program. This is a brilliant program that has been developed. It is focused on providing professional and development and also growth opportunities for women in football. It's aimed at those that might be in leadership roles. They might be on the board, committee members, coaches, maybe emerging leaders. It's a great opportunity where participants get to attend 2 full-day workshops, one in their region, and then there'll be a statewide one as well as an online session. There are the dates. These are the dates. So in the north, it's on the 5th of May, south the 11th of May, and the northwest on the 19th. There's also a statewide final workshop on the 16th of June. Details and the link, you'll be able to find them on the AFL Tasmania Facebook page. So make sure you check that out. It's a great program being offered. All right, let's talk footy on the park now, and a big weekend coming up in the SFLW. First of all, it's Division 1 and round 6 already. Can you believe that? And it kicks off at 10 a.m. on Saturday at the Lauderdale Oval. Lauderdale are at home to Glenorchy. Clarence are taking on North Hobart. That's at Blunston Arena. That game at 4 p.m. And Kingborough have the bye this week, who are sitting nice on top of the table at the moment in Division 1. And in Division 2, you can see there it is round 5. 4-rounder matches. St Virgil's are at home to Hutchins. University are taking on Port. That game at 9:30 a.m. down at Gilston Bay. At Shark Park, Dodgers Ferry are taking on Claremont at 10 a.m. Lindisfarne are at home to New Norfolk at 10 o'clock as well on Saturday at Anzac Park. And the final game of the round at 4:30 p.m. at the beautiful Pontville Oval. Brighton are taking on Huonville, and that is their live stream game as well on KTV. So you can tune into that one if you can't get there. And the South East Suns have got the bye this weekend. So that's what's happening in the SFLW this weekend. Let's have a look now at the NTFA Women's, and the votes are in for the MVP for 2024, and the round 2 votes we can see there on your screen now. Firstly, Launceston, well, they had a terrific win over Old Scotch to make it 2 wins from 2, and Georgia Haberley picking up 4 votes. Bridgenorth also made it 2 from 2. They thrashed Scottsdale by 91 points, and the skipper, Alice Robinson, she was best on ground, also kicked a couple of goals as well. And in a cracking game, the reigning premiers, Old Launcestonians, they got home over South Launceston by 11 points. Dana Lester and Carly Farrow getting the 3 votes, as did South's Liana Freestone. We can have a quick look now at the leaderboard in the MVP for Division 1. Said we're only a couple of rounds into it, but Alice Robinson there leading by 5 votes from Bridgenorth, and Sophie Rankin there in second from Old Launcestonians on 7. To the Division 1 competition now, and there are the votes for you as well. Lily Robinson, she picked up 4 votes to go along with her 5 last weekend for St Pat's in their loss to last year's premiers Deloraine. She's still got best on ground there. Shane Nichols polled a maximum 6 votes for Longford in their win over Evandale. And Jessica Murphy and Charlie Giddens from Hillwood, they got 3 votes each for the Sharks after their win over Georgetown. And we can see the leaderboard in the women's there, and Lily Robinson leading the way from St Pat's on 9. She's picked up those 9 votes in her 2 matches. Shane Nichols of Longford there, second on 8. So that is the MVPs. Coming up this week in the NTFAW, Division 1, Round 3, Hillwood are taking on Longford. That's at 10:25. Evandale are at home to Deloraine, part of a big day. That is also at 10:25 on Saturday. And at 10:55, Georgetown are at home to the Meander Valley Suns. St Pat's do have the bye. And in the Premier Division, Round 3, Scottsdale taking on Old Scotch. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. up at Scottsdale. And then on Saturday morning, Old Launcestonians take on Launceston. Should be a beauty between those two sides, both unbeaten. And South Launceston up at Youngtown take on Bridgenorth. That is at 10:55, 2 informed teams as well. So that is women's football. Plenty to get through. Make sure any stories you've got from around the state, get them through to us with thanks to Cleanaway. Time for a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at football right around Tasmania.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Welcome back to our final segment of the week on Tasmania's Footy Show. Great to have your company. It's time to look at what's happening in football around Tasmania. We've got a big weekend coming up in the men's footy in the SFL, and we're going to take a look now at what is coming up. It is the round number 5. So it's going to be a big one. Dodgers Ferry, they're taking on Claremont Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock there at home for that game. Brighton and Huonville. This will be a beauty down at Pontville at 2 o'clock. It's 3rd versus 4th, also being streamed on KTV. So keep an eye out for that one. Hobart at the beautiful TCA ground are at home to Sorell at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Hobart searching still for their first win. And Sorell currently in 5th place on the ladder. And at Anzac Park, Lindisfarne, 2nd place on the table, take on New Norfolk. Now, big congratulations to New Norfolk as well. The boys getting their first win last weekend in 2 years. So big congratulations to New Norfolk. They'll take plenty of confidence as they head to Lindisfarne, and top of the table, Cygnet have got the bye. All right. NTFA, let's have a look at the MVPs for the men's. And firstly, we go to the Premier Division. And we can see that Bracknell's Brodie Wiggins, he was best on ground in their win over Scottsdale, picking up 6 votes. South Launceston skipper Grant Holt, he took the major votes in their big win over Longford. Jake Hines, 9 goals in a best on ground performance for Bridgenorth. He scored the 6 votes there. And Hillwood's ruckman Hamish Leadham and also Archie Wilkinson polling 5 and 4 respectively in their win over Georgetown. We have a look at the leaderboard now in the men's Premier Division MVP. We can see that Cody Lowe is currently leading the way from South Launceston with Jake Hines of Bridgenorth, both on 14 votes at the moment. So they're 1 clear of Isaac Thompson on 13. So that is the leaderboard for that. Now we look at the NTFA Division 1 votes, and Billy Tuckerman from Lilydale and also Jack Hadley polling 3 votes apiece in that game. Callum Mulder of Bridport was best on ground for Bridport over the Evandale Football Club. That big game, of course, that featured Daniel Rich, who kicked 5 goals, incidentally, last week. And in the final game, Matthew Warren with 4 goals. He picked up 4 votes for Perth, along with Old Scotch's Tim Walker, sharing the spoils there. So to the leaderboard now, and in the MVP Division 1. And we can see that Jack Hadley just got his nose in front on 14 from Lilydale. Jacob Bonney from Old Launcestonians is there on 13. And John McKenzie from Old Scotch on 12 votes. All right, we can have a quick look now at the ladders in the NTFA. Firstly, in the Premier Division. And we can see that South Launceston are leading the way. The Bulldogs undefeated on 16. And then Hillwood and Bridgenorth, 3 wins from their 4 matches, making up the top 3. Some big games coming up this weekend. Rochalee taking on Bridgenorth. This will be a beauty. 3rd versus 5th. Of course, Rochalee, the City Tigers are reigning premiers. Deloraine are at home to Hillwood. South Launceston take on Scottsdale. Tough task there for the Magpies up at Youngtown. And Georgetown are at home to Longford, with Bracknell having the bye. To Division 1, and the ladder there as it currently stands is on your screen now. And we can see that Old Scotch, the reigning premiers, are on top of the table. 4 wins from 4. Lilydale hot on their heels, also undefeated. They've already had 1 bye there on 3 wins from 3. And East Coast, Old Launcestonians and Perth making up the top 5. Bridport just out on percentage. Coming up this weekend in matches, University of Tasmania, well, they're going to take on Bridport. Lilydale are at home to the East Coast Swans. Thane Bardenhagen playing his 200th senior game as well for the Demons, so congratulations to him. Evandale versus Perth, big game coming up we'll talk about shortly. Old Launcestonians are at home to Meander, and Old Scotch take on St Pat's, a repeat of last year's grand final. So that is what is coming up there in Division 1 this weekend. All right, to the TSL now, and round 5, North Launceston remain unbeaten, 5 wins from 5, big percentage of 2 games clear on top of the table. And coming up this weekend in the TSL, Launceston and North Hobart is going to be the match to be featured, and that is on City Park Radio with Dave Moore and Max Walker from 1:55. Our other matches coming up this weekend in the TSL, we've got Clarence taking on Glenorchy. That'll be a beauty between 2 big rivals down at Blunston Arena. And another big game, this will be an absolute beauty as well. The Tigers and North Launceston, 2nd versus 1st down at the Twin Ovals, Lauderdale with the bye. All right, just to finish off, some events coming up. The return to Evandale. So this will be a great function coming up this Saturday for past players, coaches, volunteers and supporters. The big day featuring the women and the men and the seniors and reserves. This is at Morven Park. So if you're one of those, past player, coaches, volunteers or a supporter, get along. It'll be a ripper of a day as well. The Bracknell Football Club, well, they're going to be hosting former St Kilda player Stephen Baker. 203 games with the Saints. He'll be a special guest on Saturday, the 11th of May at 6 o'clock. Worth getting along to this, not only to hear about his career, but also he'll talk about fighting depression, dealing with loss, and also how to build grit. Head to the Bracknell Football Club Facebook page. There's details on there. And Nicole Jones has got her details for contact if you want tickets, just $20 for those. And just finally, a couple of other events. A night with Jack Steele and Max King coming up at the Latrobe Football Club. That is on Saturday, the 11th of May as well. Just $60 per person there. You can check that out on Latrobe's Facebook page. A night with Sam Newman at the Devonport Country Club. That one is fast approaching as well on the 25th of May. Looking forward to sitting down with Sam and asking him some tough questions. You might have some tough ones for me, I suspect, when we get through the night. And then finally, a night with Dyson Heppel and Sammy Draper. We've got plenty of Essendon supporters around. This will be a cracking night with two great players and people from the Bombers on June the 15th at the Latrobe Football Club. Just $65 per person there for that. And a night with Paul Puopolo. Well, as a Hawk fan, this will be fantastic. Poppy will be down at the Sorrel Football Club. It's a big night on the 11th of May. This one as well on that date at 7 o'clock. And all the details of your tickets are there as well. You can also head to the James Wiggins Promotions Facebook page for details. And finally, best of luck to everyone on King Island. It is the opening round of the King Island Football Association this weekend. It is Grassy taking on Curry, and have a look at that for a spectacular photo and view. We wish Jan and everyone there a great season ahead. It's always a battle. It's a 3-team competition to get teams together, and they do it year after year. So you know it works over there. 12 players on the field, 4 on the bench, and the team that has the bye, they are allowed to help to top up the teams if they need to. And it's just a great way of everyone working together to ensure this fabulous competition on the island can continue. And I think that's a pretty good way to finish this week's show. So thank you for your company. Stay involved with us. Get in touch through our Facebook page and also email with any info, photos that you might want to share. And we look forward to doing that all again next week here on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's Footy Show.